Tony Stewart was one of the best drafters in NASCAR history. While never winning a Daytona 500, he was as dominant as anyone in the summer Daytona race and always was up front and fast at Talladega. But no other time was he so dominant, so fast, and just so in tune with what the car would give him at the time than the early to mid 2000s in the Daytona Xfinity season openers. This started all the way back in 2005, driving Kevin Harvick's number 33 Chevrolet. Stewart had been coming off a second the year before in the Daytona 500, but he never got a win yet in the Xfinity Series. But this would change in the 2005 Hershey's Take 5 300.
He's almost 30 seconds behind the leader, and he's losing about a half a second a lap because he has no one to help him with the draft.
And the thing that's really bothered me about Carl Edwards, oh, there he goes, right. I said just what I was getting ready to say.
Hang on.
I believe
Tony.
That was Tony, and I was just getting ready to say Carl Edwards and Sorensen were getting impatient. They were starting to really wear Tony's bumper out.
No flag. We stay green.
That's what Dale Earnhardt do.
Coming down to the wire, Stewart had two main players he had to beat, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Martin Truex Jr. At this time, the two DEI cars were absolutely dominant at Daytona and Talladega, and even in NASCAR's lower series, DEI and DEI Power were damn near unbeatable.
300 miles today, 500 miles here tomorrow.
Right here, halfway down the backstretch, that's where he got such a run while ago. He's side by side for the lead, coming to two to go.
Cow. Boy, that 33 car has got some smoke down that back straightaway. No, that's smoke driving it.
Corner points and money.
One back. Coming to the white.
Car single file. Casey Kane leading the outside line.
Here we go, boys. Money lap coming up.
One to go.
Oh, here we go. Round they go.
Big white flag. Now, around goes John Wood, the 20 of Denny Hamlin, and the 0 of Curtis Davis. The question will be, did the yellow come out before Tony Stewart took the white flag? If it did, they will go to the...
Let's come around and see what happens here. Hold on.
They'll go to the scoring loops across the racetrack, and we'll have a green-white checker
I'm telling you, I took the white flag. He never threw the yellow until afterwards.
Well,
Copy that. That's what I saw. Let's see what happens here.
You heard Tony's view.
So that would be win number one, a pretty eventful one. Win number two in a row would have plenty of fireworks as well. Now this one all came down to a 5-lap duel with the aforementioned Earnhardt, Michael Waltrip, and more.
Junior and Tony side by side, both of them trying to find some help.
Now it is 3 wide with Clint Boyer going for the lead.
Yeehaw.
Here, 3 wide, 33 on the bottom, 99 on top.
That's Michael. That's Michael on the outside.
Harvick
Boyer behind him.
in the middle, behind Earnhardt Jr.
Wow, how much better does he get than this?
Who's in 12th? Because they may wind up winning this
Exactly.
I'm not looking at 12. I'm looking at first.
Harvick is behind Junior. You think he's going to push a competitor by his
He
car?
may not have a choice.
Gotta go. You gotta go right now. You gotta think about yourself right now.
And Stacy Compton, 59, right behind Tony Stewart. Here comes Boyer on the outside.
Coming to get the white flag. Last lap at Daytona.
And Elliott Saddles at 90 car. All of his problems, there he is, trying to win on the last lap.
Got the lucky dog 3 times today, I believe.
What a nice spot that lap.
I can't believe he'll make it back to start finish line like this.
Down the backstretch for the final time. Half a lap to go. Stewart leads. Lamar, the rookie, second.
Get him. There you go. Come on.
Boyer inside of Lamar.
They're down there with you. Come on. Come on.
Don't think he's got enough time.
Mike Dillon trying to urge his driver to the line.
Uh-oh, here we go. Here we go.
Casey Compton into the wall. Michael Waltrip is around.
Denny Hamlin hard into Elliott Sadler.
While these two seasons started his damn near unbeatable run, what's odd is that in 2007, he didn't even lead a lap. It's such an outlier that it almost doesn't seem real. But 2008 would be a return to form. Long-term form. With Joe Gibbs Racing switching to Toyota and KHI staying as a Chevy team, That meant that Smoke would need to run in the coach's number 20 Toyota. While leading early, Stewart wouldn't be at the top of the board for much of the race. He'd stay near the front, but he wouldn't dominate. Late, though, he would find himself fighting a Toyota teammate in Brian Vickers for the win, with great drafting partners behind him in his teammate Kyle Busch, as well as Dale Earnhardt Jr.
To get beside Tony Stewart.
White flag this time.
Whoa! Well, that broke a lot of momentum. Well, no, it didn't. They stayed in the gas. Well, Kyle Busch did anyway.
And that was a great block for Kyle Busch. If he hadn't thrown that block, he wouldn't have a shot at it.
Yeah, that's right.
Now that was a block. That wasn't protecting your position.
That was a block. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is legal in this form of motorsports.
White flag.
1 lap to go. Tony Stewart, can he hang on?
Well, he's going to be in good shape now because Martin Truex just went to the inside of Kyle Busch. And that's the best thing Tony Stewart could see in his mirror as these guys get side by side. Unless, yeah, he almost got too big of a lead there.
They got a run coming down this backstretch.
Vickers, remember how much he can do, what he can do if he gets a little momentum. There's Vickers trying to find a way down to the inside, but he's got no one to help him down there.
Well, that car sat on the pole for a reason. It's because it was the fastest one here. They're going to have a really hard time because they're really not willing to work. Everybody's trying to get every spot they possibly can.
A couple of Toyotas and a Chevrolet. Earnhardt Jr. back in third spot. Tony Stewart trying to hang on. Tony Stewart, the pole sitter, will come down and win the season opener at Daytona.
As was the case in 2008, Stewart's 2009 success hinged on his Cup moves. And in Cup, he moved from JGR's number 20 Toyota to the number 14 Chevy for his self-owned Stewart-Haas Racing. Part of his ownership deal would be an alliance with Rick Hendrick and Hendrick Motorsports. In this, he would run the number 80 HendrickCars.com Chevy. And in order to win, he'd have to beat a cast of familiar characters, Toyotas, and Kevin Harvick drivers.
Can he hold off his former teammate Kyle Busch? Carl Edwards is hungry behind him, and Clint Boyer, the champ, in fourth spot.
Tony's smart enough. He knows he can't get too far away from those guys, and they'll get a big run on him, and then he won't be able to hold them off.
Right here, it's going to happen. If it's going to happen right here, it'll do it on the straightaway. You see the guys just lining up behind him.
He's obviously guarding the inside. If they're going to pass him, it's going to have to be to the high side. You can see Carl Edwards is just not right there.
He's going to loosen him up. Getting in the corner right here. He's going to loosen Stewart up.
Kyle
He's
Busch
got him loose.
Gives him the shove and comes on the inside. Tony is digging back on the outside.
Oh, wow.
What a job Tony Stewart here
to hold the lead. Here comes Carl Edwards to the outside of Kyle Busch. He's going to be in second. He's got to run.
Tony Stewart will come down and win it. Wow.
While most of these wins were from races that were relatively orderly, the 2010 edition of the race was a damn wreckfest. Whether it be the start of Danica's demolition decade or Dale Jr. having his first flip since 1998, it was hectic. But with a familiar team with Kevin Harvick owning the car, a familiar result continued for Stewart.
Will Justin Allgaier pull out and will Carl Edwards go with him?
Does Tony Stewart win for the 5th time in 6 years? Does Justin Allgaier get his first ever nationwide series win? And does Carl win for the first time here at Daytona?
Yeah, you can see Carl back up trying to get Paul Menard to give him a push here. He's going to try to go to the outside of Justin Allgaier.
Somebody's got to get up there to give him some help because Tony's trying to pull away.
Allgaier makes the block on Carl Edwards. He's trying to get that push to go by Tony Stewart.
They have the momentum.
Allgaier's got the run on the high side. Does he get any help? Not right now. Now he's going to look low.
Here comes
Meanwhile, going to crash. Kyle Busch, the 22 of Keselowski. While they spin, coming down the front straightaway, it's going to be all Tony Stewart.
And the checker flag is waving.
Kevin Harvick trying to duck underneath. Who gets second behind Stewart?
While Stewart had changes in cars and teams, the similarity in all of these races would be pack racing. Well, that wouldn't be the case in 2011's edition of the race. With the then Nationwide Series having their new COT car, and the repaving of the Daytona International Speedway in 2011, the two-car tandem dominated NASCAR overall. The Nationwide race would end in a late race duo duel and a photo finish.
White flag is out. Here we go. Who's going to win it at Daytona?
We see Reed Sorensen.
Oh, look out.
Okay,
look out. Into the wall. He caroms off. Everybody else gets by. He'll go back into the wall. The white flag's still out. No caution on the
Still racing
racetrack.
that into turn 3. Junior's right on the bumper. Clint Boyer.
Does he make history? Dale Earnhardt Jr. or does Clint Boyer win? And here comes Tony Stewart. He's getting the push from Castle. Coming out of 4. This is really going to be close.
Here goes Junior to the inside.
Junior to the inside. Boyer takes the lead and holds on and at the stripe. It's Boyer. Stewart.
Fast forward another season, and we have the 2012 season opener. While the NASCAR Cup Series had worked to move on from tandem drafting, the Nationwide Series still had it front and center. And it brought probably the most chaotic finish ever, one that ended Stewart's winning streak.
Cut the other way. Half a lap to go. Here comes Stewart in the 33 as Logano goes to the point. 3 wide in turn 4. A squeeze to the outside wall. Trouble in the corner. Hard, vicious crash. Who gets through to win the race? Caution flag has just been called. The race leader is James Busher in the 30 car.
And thus, we're led to the end of our journey through time in 2013. The pack was back, and it was back with a vengeance. While Stewart would wrap up his span of domination to this point, it would be the least of concerns on anyone's mind, as we had one of the scariest flips and crashes in recent memory at Daytona to that point.
Up the center, Bowman pushed by Kligerman. Somehow they got out of it and saved him. Hornish now back behind Stewart. Up to the outside, 2 is Brian Scott.
See, Tony Stewart just bulled his way through there to get an opportunity, and he's going to have it too.
Final corner at Daytona. Who's going to get here first? Regan Smith 7, Keselowski 22, Stewart 33, and contact. Smith turned around. Tony Stewart is going to win this race. And a terrible crash coming to the finish.
Winning 7 races in 9 years ended on a quiet and pretty solemn note overall. But with the distance of time since then growing and seeing the full picture, it has to be recognized as one of the greatest pieces of Xfinity racing dominance in this century so far. But now with that, I want to pass it all over to you. What is your favorite Tony Stewart moments? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're at it, leave a like in this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel for more great NASCAR content. Thank you so much to all my channel members for your continued support. And be sure to catch all of our post-race coverage for every race this weekend in Speed Week for NASCAR. So until tonight and until all those then, have a good one.